The Olympics are going on, so I thought I would share some of my excitement about, well, sports, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to jump right into it. Today is discount sponsorships. Are they worth it, and should you accept them? Discount sponsorships. We talked about this the other day. There's three main types of sponsorships. Of course, you start with discount sponsors. Product sponsors are another one, and you definitely end up with the financial sponsors at some point as well. Today we're going to focus on the discount ones. These are usually the first ones that you'll see in your career, and they're good and bad. There's definitely good things about them. So let's talk about some of the positives of discount sponsorships. First and foremost, a discount sponsorship. What is it? That's basically where you contact a company and they say, yeah, we like what you've got going on. We'd like to offer you a discount on our product that you said, you need anyway, so let's give you a percentage off. Now that could be anything. That could be 10%, that could be 50%, that could be 90%. It doesn't matter. The point is they're giving you a discount on that product, but they're still asking you to provide some sort of upfront cost. They're still charging you something. This accomplishes a couple good things. This demonstrates that you are willing to pay for their products. To them, they believe that you believe in their product. You have faith in their products. So that's a good thing. It also makes them feel a little more comfortable getting involved with you because you've put something on the table. Now, those two things make it a little bit easier for you as a driver that may not have a whole lot of experience with sponsorships or a bunch of social media followers, or maybe you're not 100% sure how to market yourself yet. Somebody like that is going to have an easier time getting a discount sponsorship than getting someone to give you free product or give you money. So a discount sponsorship is a great way to start. Another good thing that it does, it allows you to get your foot in the door with a particular company. So for example, let's use Sparko. Now, I've never worked directly with Sparko, so I'm just using them randomly. But let's say that I approach Sparko and I say, hey, I was going to buy some harnesses and a steering wheel from you guys. This is what I'm doing. Are you willing to give me some sort of discount? They may just say no. But if I'm lucky and it works out well, they say, yeah, go ahead and send us, a proposal or something. So I send them my intro packet. And they look at it and they go, all right, yeah, we'd like to do something. We'll offer you 10% off. Well, that's great. That's going to save me a little bit of money, right? Especially on something that I was already going to buy anyway. That can be good. Obviously, it saves me a little bit of money, but it can also be kind of a detriment. So now what you've done is, let's say that the stuff you were going to buy from Sparko is going to total $1,000, right? If they're knocking off 10%, they're saving you $100. So you're saving $100, all right? Well, now let's weigh that $100 in savings against what they're going to ask you to do. So maybe they're pretty straightforward and they just say, we want you to put a couple stickers on the car and tag us in a few social media posts. Great, right? So you save $100 and you got to do a little bit of work. You add hashtag Sparko USA or tag them or whatever in a few posts that show the product, and maybe you put 2 stickers on the car somewhere, right? Great, that's easy. That saved you $100. That was awesome. But what if they reach out to you and they say, well, we'd really like to see a product review. We'd like you to write an article. We'd like you to do a video installing our product, all right? Now, let's say that video and that article, the article takes you an hour to write, okay? And that video takes you 3 hours to shoot and another 4 hours to edit, okay? So you've got 7 hours in the video and 1 hour into the article, right? On top of running the stickers on the car and anything else that you have to do, including like posts, right? And sharing that stuff. So now you've got 8 hours of your time into it. All right, well, 8 hours of time, if they save you $100, is $12.50 an hour. If you think that your time is worth $12.50 an hour, great, save yourself $100. But if it comes down to it and you do that same math and it's like you're buying one part for $200 and they're saving you $20, but they still want you to do 8 hours of work, is it really worth your time? The big deal here is that you want to make sure that it's going to be A, worth your time, and B, that they're not asking more than what they're giving you. Let's go a little bit deeper into this. So now you've decided, okay, I'm ordering $1,000 worth of product from Sparko or whoever, right? And by the way, this is not to pick on any company in particular. Sparko's always been great to me. I'm just using them as an example that everybody in this industry would know. Let's say that you reach out to Sparko and they say, you know what? We'll give you 40% off, and all we want you to do is run some stickers. That sounds great, right? Suddenly you're saving $400, and all you got to do is run some stickers. Now, chances are you'll probably be an upstanding driver, right? And you'll do a few extra social media posts. Maybe you'll do some stuff for them on top of what they've asked you to do, because we always remember, under promise and over deliver. You're going to go ahead and you're going to make this content, you're going to send it to them. It was definitely worth your time, or at least you feel it was. You've got your foot in the door, you've demonstrated some value. Now you can go back to them and do that again and say, hey, are you willing to do the same thing, or can we up that discount a little bit? You've built a relationship with Sparko in this case, right? With any brand that you're working with. That's a good thing, right? Not necessarily. Obviously that opens a door for you, but here's where it gets kind of challenging. Everybody needs to know what MSRP stands for. If you don't know, it stands for the manufacturer suggested retail price. All right, so Sparko manufactures a seatbelt, and it costs them, let's say, I'm just picking random numbers here, but let's say it costs Sparko $100 to manufacture a harness. What they may do is they may reach out to their distributor and say, all right, we want to sell you these harnesses, but it costs us $100 to make them, and it's going to cost us $10 to ship them. So we're going to mark it up 40% from that $100. So we're going to mark it up plus the shipping. We're going to mark it up $40 plus the $10 in shipping. So we're going to charge $150 for this harness to the distributor. Now, the distributor pays that $150 to get the harness in their inventory, and then turns around and tries to sell it to you, whether that's on a website or in their physical store. They're trying to sell it to someone else, which ideally is the end consumer, i.e. us, right? So what ends up happening is they mark it up even more. Now, the manufacturer knows that, so they do what's called MSRP, or the manufacturer suggested retail price, all right? What that means is the manufacturer says, we know that we're going to charge you, the distributor or the shop or what have you, $150 for this harness. We suggest that you try to sell it at $199.99. So it's a $200 harness, all right? So that's what they suggest. When you go to a website online or a store, it's very rare these days that you'll actually pay MSRP. So if you go to a website, like, for example, in the drifting world, Injuku Racing, awesome website. They're big supporter of the sport. In fact, I've bought a lot of stuff from Injuku Racing over the years. Injuku will list on their website, oftentimes they'll list MSRP, and then they'll do like a slash through it, and they'll say, well, actually, we're charging this much, so we're saving you 10%, right? We're not going to charge you $200 or $199.99 for this Sparko harness. We're going to charge you $180. So we're going to save you 10% over the MSRP. Makes the buyer, us, feel like we're getting a deal. They still make $30 over what they have, but nobody online pays MSRP anymore. If you can, jot down in the comments and tell me the last time you actually paid MSRP for something, because honestly, I can't remember. So here's the problem. You reach out to Sparko and they say they're going to give you a discount. They're going to give you 40% off MSRP, all right? That's $80 off. They're going to give it to you for $110 or $120, right? Well, now that they're probably going to make you pay shipping on top of that, but let's avoid the shipping. Let's say that it costs them $100 to make it. They're selling it to you for $120. A couple things have happened. A, they're covering their cost. They're actually making $20 as well. And they get extra marketing from you. They get extra promoting, right? You're going to put those stickers on your car. You're going to do some social media posts. You might do that video. You might do the article, and so on and so forth down the line. But what ends up happening is now they've circumvented their vendor. They've circumvented the other step in the process, which is why we see so many shops and websites struggling at this point, because everybody that thinks they can do what we do goes, well, I've got 10,000 followers on Instagram, so I'm going to send an email to Sparko. I'm going to send an email to this company and get some sort of discount because I'm special. And these companies realize that it's a win-win for them. They still sell product. They don't risk anything. It's not like they're investing in you. They're selling stuff. They're making money, or at the very least covering their costs. They're getting marketing out of it, and they're selling stuff. So to them, it's awesome. One of the reasons this is detrimental is not only does it undermine the distributors and the shops that live off of what they sell, But it also makes for more people in our position that think they're entitled to pay less than MSRP, which is why I say that MSRP really doesn't get paid anymore. Like, no one really does that. So essentially, what happens is everybody goes, well, I don't pay full price for stuff anymore. I'm a sponsored driver. Well, kind of. But again, the challenge is you've kind of circumvented a lot of how the industry works. So now you don't want to pay full price anymore. After you have that happen, do you really think you're going to go to Sparco and pay $200 for that same harness that you paid $120 for a couple years ago? Like, no, nobody would do that. So you give everybody a sponsorship, everybody feels special, and then the shops get circumvented, not to mention you end up devaluing your product, right? Because people are only willing to pay X amount for a product that still, at the end of the day, costs you the same amount to make. So if you're only charging $120 for that product, but it still costs you $100 to make, they could have sold it to the distributor at $150 and made more money that way, and the distributor could have turned around and sold it and made more money and kept their doors open. So you've now created a whole generation of kids, basically, that feel like they're special and want a discount for nothing. This is a huge problem in the motorsports industry right now. You've got to be honest with yourself first and foremost and say, do I need this sponsorship, and is this going to benefit me enough, right? Which is what we talked about earlier, where you got to make sure it's worth your time. And if it is worth your time, you've done the math and you feel comfortable doing that, you can weigh in, is it going to open a door for me in the future? Great. If it is, that's awesome. That's obviously something you should take into account. But you should also consider this. Is me accepting this sponsorship going to make me feel like I shouldn't pay what something is actually worth from other brands? Say that maybe you need some suspension, and so you go to, I don't know, let's say KW, right, who makes amazing stuff. You go to KW Suspension and you say, hey, are you guys willing to give me a discount? And they say no. Are you going to be willing to go pay for their products, or are you just going to move on to the next company that is going to offer you some sort of discount? Are you more concerned about the discount, or are you more concerned about the product and about the relationship that you're building with those companies? You have to know the answers to these questions before you go into a conversation with a sponsor, because these marketing people are brilliant. They're very smart and they know what they're doing. And if they can take advantage of a situation where someone comes in and says, hey, I'm going to give you free marketing and still pay for your product, why wouldn't they do that? Right? So make sure that you're not getting taken advantage of. And most importantly, deliver on what you say you're going to deliver. If you say that you're going to do X amount of social media posts, you're going to do a video, you're going to do an article, do those things. For the love of God, do those things. And also remember, just be honest with yourself. We've all trained ourselves to think that we are special and important and, whatever. We've all been told that our whole lives. But if you really love your industry, don't be afraid to spend the extra money, pay what you know something is actually worth, help to contribute to the industry when you do that, but not only that, remove some of the work from your plate. Because to me, if I'm buying a $200 harness and I can save $20 by a 10% discount, but it means I have to do extra work, I'm paying the extra $20 and then I don't have to do any of it. This is not me talking down about discount sponsorships. They can be very good, but I just want you guys to be aware of some of the pitfalls. It's real easy to get an email from a sponsor the first time and have them say, yeah, we're willing to offer you, 40% off, which is wholesale. We'll give you the same price that we'd give our dealer. Just understand what's really going on. I don't want everybody to get that email and go like, hell yeah, I'm in. Because I've done that, and it causes you more work in a lot of cases. So do the math, know what you're worth, know what they're actually offering you, and make sure that you underpromise and overdeliver on what you're going to do. If you guys have any questions, jot them down in the comments, and remember, let me know when the last time you paid manufacturer-suggested retail pricing for anything was. Guys, have a great day. We will catch you soon. I am out. Beep. Like I just smudged the lens. Sports! Come here, you want to be on camera? If you guys haven't met Camber, this is our dog. She's friendly. What do you say? Camber, what do you say? Yeah, good girl. Okay, down. I've had enough.